Hey, it's Wisconsin Wine Guy, and I am back again for another wine review. And these are wines, for those who are new, that you can find on the shelves of your everyday liquor store, grocery store, and some wine shops. These are wines I select to give you my opinion of what I think about the wines for you to use as a guide when walking through the store or perusing, as I like to say, the wine aisle and deciding on what to drink. You can always think back and say, hey, the Wisconsin Wine Guy said this, thumbs up, thumbs down, halfway. So you give it a try. But you know what? Regardless of what I may rate the wines at, I encourage you to try many of the wines that I review here, because what I taste, what you taste, is going to be completely different, and you may find your diamond in the rough. This is just a guide. All right, so now that the commercial is over, let's get to today's show. Today, we are going to New Zealand, the Marlborough region of New Zealand. And what happens in Marlborough? What wine? What wine? What grape are they known for in New Zealand and Marlborough? Sauvignon Blanc. All right, there you have it, Sauvignon Blanc. Coming out of New Zealand. I mean, it's funny because you may think, well, New Zealand does so much Sauvignon Blanc that wouldn't all the Sauvignon Blanc taste the same? But not necessarily. I mean, it can be, more citrusy in some areas, still citrus, but more grassy or more melon notes. It really all depends, on where the grapes come from and what part. It really all depends, and what the seasons are. But the underlying thing, you definitely get that racy acidity coming out of New Zealand. It's just a matter of how the wine itself is going to taste. What the winemaker decides, this is how I would like for our Sauvignon Blanc to taste. Now, Kono Winery is a very interesting winery, into sustainable farming, all about the nature, all about giving back to the land. It's a very, very interesting story when I was reading about it, and I want to encourage you to go to their website and check it out, because they do more than just wine. They do food products as well. I didn't get to the part to see if you can get any of those shipped to the United States or not, but it's a very interesting story, about a group of people, that migrated, loved the land, and trying to bring it back, and produce and keep everything locally sourced. Check out the story, Kono Wines, and let's get to the reason why we're here. All right, check out that label. We are drinking 2020. There you go, right there. 2020 Sauvignon Blanc. We're at 13% alcohol. Screw cap. Screw caps have become the norm. Even though there's still people out there who say, screw cap, don't do a screw cap with wine or what natural cork. But screw caps are becoming the norm, because you can be rest assured that if the wine is good, it went in that way. If it's bad, it went in that way. So it's a much, for me, it's a lot more security. And if you're a retailer, you can stand the bottle up and worry about keeping the cork wet. All right, here we go. Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. What we got, New Zealand? Racy acidity, right? All right, so now we have greenish hues, which to me is typical. It kind of looks like, yellow hues there, but outside the camera, it's greenish hues, greenish hues, subtle straw, sort of like when the grass is turning into hay, it gets that in between yellow greenish color. That's what you get right here. Now, that nose, ooh, wow. Now, from here, without going deep, it's like a candied fruit backed with citrus. Like, what again? Candied grapefruit. That's just right here. But as soon as you stick that nose deep inside, it's grapefruit all the way, okay? Totally. I mean, that distinctive nose coming from New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, which doesn't necessarily have to be grapefruit, like green smelling, like I don't want to say grass. I guess if green had a smell, it'd be grass, but kind of like green smelling, grapefruit. But you get more of that candy. For me, I get that kind of candy, the caramelized grapefruit on here. But nice, but very clean, very fresh, very distinctive. All right, now for the rinse. Okay. Acidity is there. And you know what? It's rare when it happens, but the tannins that exist there, in this wine, that it's not gripping, but has a nice structure to it. But then I oftentimes speak about when you bite into, say, a lemon or a grapefruit or any of those tart fruits, and you get that out of the pulp, you get that burst of sweetness. When you bite into the pulp, that's what you get here. Okay, you get that little boop of sweetness coming from the fruit, the ripeness of the fruit. Now for the taste. Now, as I said, you can't take one New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc or 5 New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs and think that they're all going to taste the same. This one leans more towards that grapefruity citrus kind of feel, whereas some of them would be kind of like in the middle or have a little more of those melon notes. This leans more towards that citrus taste. But it's very pleasant. Again, it's just like if you're eating, white grapefruit versus red. If you're eating white grapefruit, and some people may put salt, some people may put sugar, on that grapefruit. But me, I just eat it as it is. So you get minerals, okay, minerality coming here, like almost of the soil. You get, again, that citrusy grapefruit, the white grapefruit. You get that pinch or that kiss of sweetness from the pulp. Then you get that light bitterness on the finish, just like a grapefruit, just like a citrus fruit, but again, it's surrounded still by fruit. So if you like that style the way I described it, you'll definitely would enjoy this. It's totally different from the melons mixed with citrus or grapefruit, or more melon than grapefruit, But I believe that it's really, really nice. So for me, and dry, just the overall feel of it. I like that bitterness. It really tastes like the fruit, like fruit. I'm gonna go with a double thumbs up on this one. And not because it's New Zealand. New Zealand got the market corner on that, but for this particular wine, I'm digging the direction and that style of this particular wine. It's kind of unique tasting. I like that it's more grapefruit than not. I like that because I like grapefruit. I like that it feels like I'm actually eating grapefruit where I get the sweetness of the pulp. I get the subtle bitterness on the finish. It's just like truly biting into a segment of grapefruit. So this is pretty nice. So the 2020 Kono New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, the Wisconsin wine guy, is going to give it, and that's it, double thumbs up. I'm digging it. I hope you'll dig it. It's very refreshing. I have a nice chill on this. So check it out. It's your Wisconsin wine guy saying, as always, let your palate be the guide for selecting your wine, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.